Hello, Clean Fiction community. This is Amy Lynn McConaughey with Clean Fiction Audio back again this week to read you reviews from our magazine that are also audiobooks. This week we are going to be in the science fiction section, and all of the information for the authors and reviewers are down in the description of the video. We're going to be starting with Tony B. Richard's Roswell First Contact, and I am 100% certain this book which is a short story, is included in a grouping of Tony's stories that is just released this last month that will probably be an audiobook sometime in the future. So keep an eyeball on TonyBRichard.com for information on that. Now, on with the review. When Private Malcolm Dow went to clean up a crashed weather balloon, he came face to face with an alien instead. Being an alien of sorts in his own otherwise all-white regiment, Malcolm instantly took on the alien's plight. Military help for his besieged planet of Zalma. And it's not just Zalma. Earth will be next. But to do so, he must first overcome the obstacles he's faced since childhood and find a voice for himself. The trouble is, he's not the only one who knows they're here. The genre is 2-hour science fiction short reads, and it is available as an audiobook on Amazon, and also for our dyslexic friends out there, it is available in a dyslexic edition, which I thought was pretty cool. This review is by Nathaniel, Duane, Caldwell. What would happen if you found yourself face to face with a UFO? Malcolm Dow discovers just that in this science fiction book from Tony B. Richard. From the start, Malcolm, the main character, seems to be a kind, compassionate man, but no pushover. Action. You can get action even before the first chapter begins. It easily captures your attention. As the story progresses, the action slows, but it doesn't exactly stop. Adventure. The plot is one that keeps moving. I'd say you've got a great adventure here. Romance. This isn't a book that has romance, but you don't miss it. Religion. There's no religion mentioned here. Magic, drug use, language, and other negatives. There is racism in this book, with the main character being the target. There is some discussion about race and some things to think about. Final thoughts. This was a short read, but a captivating one. I will probably end up checking out the rest of Earth's Secret Alliance books as I am able. He has chosen to rate it an A. Showing some ankle, a perfect book for the Puritan in your life. I'm rating this an A, not for language or violence, but for the discussion dealing with racial issues. I think parents should get with their kids if the kids are reading it. Families reading this together will probably want to take time to discuss this very important, very timely topic. More information about Tony B. Richard can be found in the description of the video. Now, our next review is Elite by Kristen Young. It is book 2 of a series. So if you do not want spoilers for book 1, do not watch this video until you read book 1. Now, for book 2. Where do you find safety when your world is falling apart? Apprentice Flick thought that the Elite Academy was the answer to all her problems. But the revelation of her past turned everything upside down. Now she is caught between two worlds set on a collision course. Will she embrace the chaotic memories that flood her every waking moment? Or will she run to the security of her elite training? Discovering her parents' identities takes her to a secret underground bunker where she finds new friends, opportunities, and maybe even love. But Flick must decide where her allegiances lie soon, or the Triumph of Love festival might bring about her demise. The genre of this book is Christian science fiction, and it can be found as an audiobook and an audio CD on Amazon. The reviewer for this book is Kate Willis Hoppman. After holding out for an admirably long time, more than 2 weeks, I caved and bought the second book. I'm not sure what I was expecting, but it definitely wasn't this. I really love the unexpected plot direction that strengthened the themes even more. I knew I was right to choose Hodge as a favorite character, and it was fun seeing some side characters take a turn in center stage. Flick continued to be very interesting, and I love seeing her process each new obstacle and revelation. Again, the tech was really fascinating and impressive. I especially enjoyed the Watcher scenes, though the gravity wasn't lost. The new elements in this book were fabulous. I enjoyed the gorgeous yet relevant portrayal of Christianity. I also deeply appreciated the theme of nonviolence. My criticisms of the first book were unfortunately even more present in this one. There is a whole new set of side characters. To the author's credit, I could eventually keep them straight, plus code names for some I already knew, and a complicated, sometimes clumsy new set of terms. Definitely a bit too much for me to keep track of. Favorite quote from this book is, "Just because you don't hear a voice doesn't mean he's not there. He's with you. That's what he wanted me to tell you." Content warning. Flashbacks to implied execution, kidnapping, and fear. Mentions of observing, stabbing, murder, domestic violence, and planned domestic terrorism through surveillance work. Lying/manipulation, intrusive thoughts of guilt, allusion to an official being a predator, slight implication of rock music being evil. Final thoughts. Altogether, I'm very much intrigued by where this series is going and have high hopes it nails the ending. Kate has rated this a G, will make you gasp. Both eyebrows will be involved in reading this book. You can find more information on Kristen Young in the description of this video. We have another review from Kate Willis Hoppman as our last and final review for this episode. The book is called Anomaly by Krista McGee. Thali has 15 minutes and 23 seconds to live. The toxic gas that will complete her annihilation is invading her bloodstream, but she is not afraid. Decades before Thali's birth, the world was decimated by a nuclear war, but life continued deep underground thanks to a handful of scientists known as the 10. There they created genetically engineered human beings who are free of emotions in the hope that war won't threaten the world again. Thali is an abnormality. Born with the ability to feel emotions and a sense of curiosity she can barely contain. She has survived so far by hiding her differences, but then her secret is discovered when she is overwhelmed by the emotion of an ancient piece of music. The 10 quickly schedule her for annihilation. But her childhood friend, Burke, a scientist being groomed by the 10, convinces them to postpone her death and study her instead. While in the scientist's pod, Thali and Burke form a dangerous alliance, one strictly forbidden by the constant surveillance. As her life ticks away, she hears rumors of someone called the Designer, someone even more powerful than the 10. What's more, the parts of her that have always been an anomaly could be, in fact, part of a much larger plan. And the parts of her that she has always guarded could be the answer she's been looking for all along. The genre for this book is Christian science fiction, and it is available as an audiobook and an audio CD on Amazon. I literally gobbled this book up the moment it came. I read it in more than a day only because I had to, and it took a lot of self-control not to read the entire series in one sitting. It had a lot of the same feel as some of my favorite dystopian series, but not in a stale way. I love seeing a unique concept, and the hard-hitting but natural gospel presentation was one of the best I've seen. I really liked Tholly. She wasn't a cliché YA teen just waiting to fuel a revolution, but instead she was just really, really curious and trying to keep her differences under wraps. It was great how much she loved music too. I'm not a musician, but I could feel the joy of playing through how the author wrote those scenes. And I was so happy to have one of my favorite songs in there. Heads up, world, Dr. Burke is the best. John and Wren were also great supporting characters, and Dr. Loudon was complicated and astounding. Big surprises, like wow. And the meaning behind the character names equals nerd happiness. One of the romances in this book is so good. I surprised myself with it, actually. The couple had such loyalty and chemistry that I was practically rooting for them to kiss. And when they didn't, I was even happier because it was so respectful and unusual for them not to. It actually strengthened the message of the book, and they were absolutely adorable. Content warning. Scientific experiments, mental manipulation, intense but undetailed brain surgery, euthanasia. The romance included forehead kisses and hand-holding, as well as attraction. Final thoughts. Altogether, this book really encouraged me in my faith, and it's one I'll keep thinking about for a while. Kate rated this a G, will make you gasp. Both eyebrows will be involved in reading this book, and you can find more information about Krista and McGee in the description of the video. Now let me just double check that that's the last one for this week. And it is. So I will see you all next week with another video. If you are interested in learning more about the levels of clean for Clean Fiction Magazine, you can go to our website, cleanfictionmagazine.com. And if you would like to become a yearly subscriber, either as a paperback subscriber or as an ebook subscriber, you can go on there as well. It's only $10 for an ebook subscription for a year, and it gives you access to all our back issues. Thank you so much for joining me for reading these reviews today, and have a lovely day.